Welcome to the cinema. No mobile phones. No talking or toddlers. And please, be considerate to your fellow moviegoers. No masturbating. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Before we begin with our regularly scheduled programming, we here at the Scaletto Family Order would like to take a minute to say thank you for your support and patience when regarding our content. As you know, it takes days to edit videos such as these episodes to the best quality, shortest length without cutting content, and making in-game cinematics to further engage you into our videos. We recently reached 100 subscribers and our views are reaching 125 to 400 viewers per release. We know most won't think this is a lot, but when you start a channel fresh from 0 subscribers, you will realize that every like, comment, and subscriber is what keeps our videos coming. Thank you everyone for your support, and remember, #Scaletto for Blessing Council.
This film is presented in its original uncut version. It is rated TV MALSV. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion.
The following film is intended for mature audiences and contains adult content, graphic language, graphic violence, nudity, and strong sexual content. Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay, everybody, thank you for joining us for another episode of Father Talks. I'm your host, Father Scaletto, or some of you may know me as Jacob. I am joined here today with Don Vic Cingano, Mr. Don Sparrow, Doc Cingano, and Don Scaletto. Sparrow and Cingano have topics that they would like to talk on. I'm going to open it up with Don Vic Cingano, and I'm going to let you get a starting statement on it, and then everybody, it's just free range to chip in and talk about it. We're going to have 5 minutes to discuss, and then after, we're going to move on. Don Vic, recently, at the last Don's meeting, there was a lot of controversy against the Rinato Commission, am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, you stood there and you held the line, and Rinato ended up not being removed. Actually, the topic was barely even talked about, but I want to know, after that meeting, and after you being in TO for what? How long have you been in TO now?
Shit, what, about a month and a half, maybe?
Okay. So, after that amount of time, how do you think Cingano has done in Turf Overseers?
I mean, I think I did a good job, shit. I'm doing a good job. I got a lot of ideas, shit. I got a lot of things that need to be fixed and need to be
Give me good. Give me like one. Give me one good one off the top of your head. Any one of them.
All right, off the top of my head, in the document, it says under additional turf rules that you can't ban any cars and any weapons, or something about weapons. But it does say any cars, you know. But so many turf wars we see have that rule in it where you ban the emblems, you ban the police car, you ban whatever fucking car it is, you ban it. You know what I'm saying? So I say, yo, why are we allowing people to ban cars if it does say in the document you can't ban any cars? And they're like, well, the community started raging about it, so we just let it happen. And I'm like, what? That don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? Anything, any rule, anything that we have to enforce is because the community made a decision and made it a rule. You know what I'm saying? So the same way these rules come into play and the same way these rules are created, they need to be uncreated and unvoted. You know what I'm saying? And taken out of play at a Don's meeting, in a topic, at a all blessing council's meeting. You know what I'm saying? People who can actually touch the document and change shit in it. TO's got the misconception that they have the power to change what's in the document. That's not true at all, bro. The point of giving them the extra power to control stuff and delegate loopholes and stuff to the rules was so that they can enforce what's in the document. You know what I'm saying? Not change it around. Just create more smaller rules to help reinforce it.
Now, Sparrow, as a turbo overseer, taking Don Scaletto's statement, how do you feel? Do you agree, disagree, and elaborate on why?
So there's things that he touched over that did make sense, like the cars. Yes. The thing I disagree about is how we wanted to change rules within the document, simply because I put up a topic about allowing us to create a document, and on the document, which we haven't had the meeting yet, because I put up an announcement to get everyone's times and stuff. We're still trying to set that up. But in the document, it's going to have every single rule that you can use for Turf War. If it's not on there, what it's going to do is it's going to go to a vote in the TO chat. And how that's going to work is should we allow this rule or shouldn't?
I think the TO document is going to be a great idea, bro. But the problem right now is that the community document is worded poorly. And I'm not blaming Vito for it because it's not all on him, even though he's writing it. You know what I'm saying? It's us as a community to sit in those meetings and fully clarify each rule when it's being made.
Just going back to what Frank said, back in the day, it was word by mouth. Vito's not doing a good job at the document, but there's stuff he misses out on. But a lot of people think, oh, it's not there, it's not a rule. Which it's not true, of course.
And that's crazy. You right. Word of mouth was powerful, bro. None of this shit needed to be said. You knew what had to be done, bro.
There was no document.
Regular sniper, AR, get you a whack, 2-man drop by. You knew this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It didn't have to be re-uttered and written down and all. Yeah, man. But it's the problem that people want to abuse things and say, oh, it's not written down to better benefit their situation at the moment. It only matters when it's happening to them. You know what I'm saying? So then they want to look the other way and try to fight for stupid shit that we all know is what it is.
Yeah.
People just got to get out of the petty shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? We all know what it's supposed to be. We all know what the rules are. We all know all of this.
Okay. All right, now.
No reason.
The time limit has been reached to discuss that topic, but I'm going to move on to Don Scaletto as the co-host of the show. What's your opinion on what they said, brother?
You know, I agree with them. And talking about Scaletto being turf overseers, I've talked to Ruccio a few times, and with the dispute that they had, I forgot with what crew, they said that you're actually being actually a really good TO, being active during that dispute, going in the game, buying the cars to see, going in the game, buy the cars to see if this has a backplate, this doesn't have a backplate, and so on and so forth.
Right, so
going above and beyond.
So I want to touch on that topic because actually, I'm pretty sure I said it a couple of times. I wasn't around when that war happened. I actually came back the next day when they were trying to dispute. A bunch of information was just everywhere. I'm not gonna lie. If you're not TOing the war and you just got all those people that votes, you miss a lot of stuff. Especially if you're not on at that time. One of the things I had seen that Vic posted that I really disagreed with was in the rules it states anything about a backplate. In his thing, one of the DQs that he posted, it said backplate, but he shot a thumbs down on it, which I thought was pretty weird.
Hey, I'm gonna explain that for you. Let me explain that for you, bro, because first off, let me say this. I hate typing, okay? Because when you type it, you know what I'm saying? When you type something to somebody, they read it differently. They don't, you know what I'm saying? Your point doesn't fully get across unless they understand your point of view. So I prefer to talk shit and tell you face to face. Then you say, oh, now I understand what he's saying. Yeah. When I post somebody's DQ, I'm not putting my personal opinion on it. Okay, and any type of form of a personal opinion is a fact. Meaning, when I posted the first DQ, I gave the timestamps so people can go and find the timestamps of what they're looking for, and they're not just looking at the video and saying, "What is this?" On the last DQ, where they said, or where they asked if this was a backplate, that's what they wanted. They wanted to know if this was a backplate DQ. They said this is a form of a backplate. So I put it down as what they would want it. Because if I put it down as what I would want, I would have said they're trying to say this spoiler is a backplate, and then they would have been, oh, look at Vic being biased, putting his opinions on my topic. That's not what I wanted voted on. You know what I'm saying? So I tried to label each topic how they wanted it, and then with the last DQ, Someone said to me that there was a rule about how the DQs go by timestamps, and if one family has 3 DQs before the other, the last DQ doesn't matter. I'm looking at the timestamps.
I spoke with Ray Lucas on that actually when we tried to look over it again just to review everything. So we reposted everything up. And we looked over it, and what he was saying about it is that not necessarily just go by timestamps because that's so time consuming. He said, but it also goes by how many does a family have.
Fact.
Because the war technically wasn't called, and you're just sending in DQs after a war. Like, anyone could just find 3 DQs. It's not really that hard if you just look over a bunch of clips.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this about it, man. This I don't even think we still on the same topic. We damn near on the next topic already. But I'm gonna say this about it, bro. When I posted everything and everything came in and I looked at everything based off of what was sent during the war, Evaso had 3, including the 2 questionable backplate loophole DQs because of a topic about spoilers. That's what I told them. I said, yeah, this is a DQ. And if this was a loophole off of just the raw backplates, we could do something. But it's because of the fact that somebody made a separate topic about spoilers and it got shut down, and all spoilers from that point were qualified as okay, that this created a loophole of its own rule, meaning it would need to go back to a Don's meeting or a council's decision, because they can change the document and actually touch it and specify all backplates, whether they can be slightly shot through or not. But for us to do that will change the entire spectrum of the rule, because now, off of a decision that TO's made, you'll see people getting exposures sent in off of slightly, having shit on their window. You'll see people getting exposures, and now you got people with strikes and a whole bunch of shit off of something TOs start. You know what I'm saying? It's the same concept with the cars and any cars being banned. TOs allowed it, so now everybody, we was straight. But that wasn't the case. It wasn't even the case when the rule was made, because the rule was made because of me. You know what I'm saying? The rule was made because I wanted to have a melee fight with somebody, and they was like, nah, you can't do that. Fuck that. And the rule was so that you couldn't ban all cars. Ban some cars, but not all cars. There has to be some form of transportation.
I agree with that.
But I'm getting off topic.
Now, to move on to the next topic, I want to talk about 15v15. Sparrow, I want to give you a chance to talk on that. But Sparrow, I want to know what you think on 15v15 or 20v10, whatever it may be. You have the floor.
So 15v15, it's not necessarily a bad idea. The reason why I got shot down is because we recently just put 20v10 into effect, and it seems to be working well. I don't think it should go to a 15v15 at all, unless it's like after so long. It shouldn't stay 15v15 the whole time. There should be some type of defender advantage, in my opinion. I mean, you earn that turf, you should have the right to defend it. Maybe like if you start working your way down and start going from like a 19v11 and just work your way back, like towards 15 to see what works. I mean, I just feel there should be like some type of defender advantage.
Vic, what's your opinion?
Oh man, I'm old school, bro. I think y'all niggas getting too nice. I think people going for turf want you to pat them on the back and burp them through it, feed them a bottle all the way to the finish line. Cause nigga, where I come from, bro, you hop in a lobby, they'll have 20, you'll have 5. You know what I'm saying? And you battle it out. It's whatever, all night till they leave. Because it's not about how many you got. It's about how well you execute. You know what I'm saying? It's about how well you guys work together, how well they stick together. Now, if we talking about whack lobbies, that's a different situation. That is a problem. If I'm spawning in 4 guys and you already got 10 sitting outside my apartment, that's a problem. Yeah, you'll never win a war. But I think the fact that you got 20v10, that's more than enough. I think that's fair. I think it should be more than 15 minutes. I think it should last 30 minutes or 40 minutes, 30 minutes maybe. But yeah, I think that's fair, bro. Okay. I really do.
Don,
because a turf war shouldn't be fair. You're attacking me. You're coming to my compound. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna just clarify this shit with the disputes and the TO shit, man. A lot of people, I ain't gonna say a lot of people, bro. Certain people coming at my head about the shit like I'm fucking up or something. But saying back to the Ruscio and Evaso thing, man. I posted everything there. It's the only one doing the shit. I asked the TOs that were supposed to be helping me with the war. It got to the point, bro, where I wasn't getting responses from them, that I asked the TOs that weren't supposed to say shit. And I said, if anybody has something to say about this or what I'm doing, say something now. You know what I'm saying? Because first time I've done a dispute. First time I posted it, and I tried to do it the most professional, easiest way, laid out way I knew how. All TOs had to do was click and read. Everything had a link to it, bro. Like, you wanted to read the full dispute, I had that right there. You click on Turf Chat Defense or Dispute, you click, and you'll see the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? I copied and pasted it to the TO chat. I copied and pasted what they needed to see in the DQs, and even when I told them to vote, I said, make sure you read the dispute, make sure you read all these other channels. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The war could have been won with Evaso off of a 3, because they had the 3 first. The problem with it was that 2 of the 3 were loophole DQs. So at that point, to keep it fair and not just give Evaso the win, and give Ruscio the win, because they had 3 next. To keep it fair, I eliminated the timestamps and I went by who had more. You know what I'm saying? And when I counted it up, I seen it was a 5-5. And I seen that, and I seen it was gonna come down to the last DQ. Now, I probably, you know what I'm saying, I probably shouldn't have said leave it as an only DQ, you know what I'm saying, only if it's a tiebreaker. Probably shouldn't have said that. But no other TO stepped up and said, hey, Vic, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Vic, just leave that DQ on. You know what I'm saying? I just did what would make the war fair and make it so that no side felt cheated. And by the end of the war, that's what it was. Each side accepted the decision. If you look at any dispute I did with that one and the Venereal one, man, I make sure each side accepts the decision and they understand why the decision is what it is. So that there's no complaints, so that there is nobody yelling and spamming in the chat talking about biasness and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? There was no mistakes or indecisiveness about what I was doing. I knew the war, and my votes, my opinion was a 6-5 to Evasa. And I said, wait for everybody else to get in here and vote. You know what I'm saying? Sparrow wanted to race, started rushing on it, and he called it. Now, he misunderstood what I was telling him. He thought I was talking about official votes, and I wasn't. I was just talking about my opinion. And again, that's a fault, but it's not a fault of what I said, it's a fault of where we were talking. We should have been talking in discussion and not DQs. You know what I'm saying? Simple mistake shit. And he's talking about I posted this to increase my ego or some shit like that. Mm-hmm. I posted another win message on my ego, but that wasn't the case either. I thought Sparrow was making another message without selling nobody, but really he was making the official message after another TO had finally chimed in, which was Lucas. And then when I seen that, I brought my message back and I said, yo, I apologize for that, my bad. You know what I'm saying? But it's not.
I think just at nighttime, there's really no help. So you have to go off of what you got working
bro. And that's a problem, bro. It should
People always be like, we want to get this shit done. Like, get it, can we get like an answer on that or this and that? And it's like, you gotta relax, and then just put you under pressure, and then wonder why shit don't get done right.
Real shit.
I personally don't think that your removal is gonna go through at the meeting. I talked to some people about it. I don't think Ardene's gonna get it. If they do, it'd probably be off of biased votes, or they swayed some votes.
I don't got no problem with you or them, bro. The only problem is how he wants to go about, how V wants to go about getting into TOs. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
if you want to get into
TOs, he's been here. He likes doing it. So anything he sees, he's gonna try to remove.
I respect that, but then it should be a just add another TO. Fuck it, we need it. Why not? These niggas was good TOs. We need another TO. Add them. Fuck.
If we need another TO, you know I mean, in my opinion, I'd say let's try something new. Let's move Ramini into it and see what we got. I mean, a lot of people hate them. A lot of people hate Ramini. But let me tell you something. If you actually sit down and talk with them, and you're not a friggin' retard, I'll be generally honest, they're not bad people at all. It's more of who types in those chats and what they have against you.
I never had a problem with Ramini, man. It's just that Ramini and I was having a meeting and getting ready to have our first sit-down meeting, and they joined the party when I was telling my guys, like, yo, relax, don't be shooting nobody, don't be having your guns out. You know what I'm saying? Giving them the basic, like, we straight. but they thought I was like planning a setup or some shit on their ass. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
I think going back on the TO stuff though, I think it's like after they lost their vote to us in the TOs for Las Tesas, Manassi said that it was only going to be Manassi forever, if I recall. I'd have to go back and look, of course.
But I respect.
But Ramini,
they'll stand up for what's right when it matters.
I think Ramini is willing to flex their around their commission with the TOs, and I mean I'm pretty sure they did it before. I couldn't see why that would change. I don't really see a problem with Ramini. I feel like they're not bad people. It's just no one wants to give them the shot that they should have.
I don't know. I don't think I'm not even gonna speak on V, but I definitely think Avante was an outstanding TO in what they did.
I like Avante.
Them niggas, yeah. Open-minded, bro. He said, what did he say? He said, I'm always switching my decisions, bro. As a TO, bro, you should be open-minded. If you're a TO who just sees something and says, yeah, that's a DQ, and never looks at it again, never double checks, never looks at the defense, like, what are you doing? You have to be open-minded to the information coming in.
I mean, I've even seen in Dotson Hierarchy, I mean, they even, like, Ordine, like, it was between, like, Daka Vavazo, aka Ripper, and Don Vi, they were arguing out there, right in the middle of the Dotson Hierarchy. I mean, if that's your commission, I honestly don't think you should be doing that. It just looks bad. So I first I was thinking if they're just going to be arguing in the chats, what's their stability? What could happen? So let's talk over the avoiding combat DQs. Okay, this is just ridiculous. Bro. Every single time, no offense to Ruccio, they send in a clip. It was some guy either like run away, get in a car, driving away, go into another fight. They'd send it in as avoiding combat. People forget how it was voted in. Most of that rule came in against Impero because what they did is they rubber band their controllers, or they'd run away from their fight or sit in their apartments. It's pretty much if you go way up the map or way down the map or to the left or to the right, like way away from the fight, like no interaction, you're just messing around someplace, then I could see it being a reasonable avoiding combat. But if the guy drives down the street because you're shooting at him, I mean, I'll be honest, I probably would too. Like, why would you sit there and fight a fight if you're like at 1 HP? That's just pointless.
I don't even know where to start with this rule, bro. I hate it. I really hate it. Like, I love the reason it came into play. You know what I'm saying? Because Imperial was definitely abusing the AFK rubber band and shit. But now you got people abusing the rule, man, and they're trying to clip every time somebody's 5 feet from them. You know? And it's like, come on, man. We got this big-ass map, we fighting for hours. The fight's gonna move. You know what I'm saying? If somebody walks over here, they're trying to move the fight. Now, if the whole family, like you said, is moving a mile up the map and shit, yeah, we calling that, bro. It is what it is. But people got to stop trying to abuse the avoiding combat rule. For real, bro. Like, if this guy's in the fight, if this guy walks away for 5 minutes, like, stop abusing that shit, bro. Niggas getting DQs for using the bathroom now, bro. Taking a shit. Like, come on. Smoking a cigarette, bro. Like, I don't care about that. I don't care if a nigga walk away from his joystick. I don't.
No, it's bad when they have to actually openly say that to the TOs, though. That's when it gets too far. Yeah, like, why don't we care? You're taking a shit. Like, if you're standing still and the clip list says you're standing still, so be it. But if you're, like, moving around on the other side of the map, then we might have something to talk about here.
Right, if you're on the other side of the map spinning in a fucking circle,
yeah,
we got something to talk about. But if you're just standing still, like, GTA gonna kick you out in 10 minutes, which they call 15 minutes anyway. Like, come on, man.
I think I'll say, I don't know too much about Imperial, but I think that was most of the reason why they weren't DQing is because they weren't really fighting. To be honest.
Yeah, it's crazy shit, man. People are DQ hunting for petty DQs and don't want to fight. And I don't like that. Like the no parachute rule, the no intentional kill. Like,
I don't mind what Ordine did when they brought up in the society, what they brought up the no whack wars now that are going on. I kind of like that. It seems pretty interesting.
The community. You talking about the community wars?
Yeah, that they do in the private lobbies that are no wax.
Oh yeah.
I'll have to start getting my commission on those.
That was definitely a smart idea. Whoever did that.
I mean, no one wants to do Publix, and black lobby's that's not worth it either. I'd rather just keep these horse like how it is as well. Gives people something to do. And they always, I'm pretty sure, like Don Vi or someone said that we'd always open up a second lobby if needed, if we got a lot of people trying to get involved.
So to move on to the next topic, and this is a vague description of it, because this is what I was provided, but I'm sure you can elaborate. I want you to explain, and I quote, what you meant by only blessing people in your commission.
Okay, I'm
you have the stage. You have 5 minutes.
Garati said, and he said, I'm only blessing families if they join my commission. Okay, and I think Rocco agreed with that shit. Now, I don't really hold Rocco to it because, you know, you seen Gigante bless a lot of families that are not in his commission right now, so I'm not complaining about him. But the fact that they was like okay with it kind of threw me off, because that wasn't the deal I got when I got blessed, you know what I'm saying? And if anybody had said that shit to me when I was trying to get blessed, I probably would have left the party on their ass. Because that's like bribery, bro. That's blackmail. That's forcing people to do something for you to get something in return. Like, I understand that's the mob. I understand we in the mob, but what is the blessing council? I thought the blessing council was supposed to be families that were willing to acknowledge good families no matter how they feel about that family. I thought that was the point of it. I didn't know the point of it was to only bless families that I like. But that's basically what it is. That's basically what you're saying. I'm only going to bless you if I like you. So if you try to whack me, and you do whack me, and you successfully whack some other OGs of the family, and you're building a nice reputation for yourself because I don't like you, you're never going to get a blessing. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like your crew should only be like open or going up. Let's say if you're eligible, for example, if your crew does something for the community and you're openly helping and stuff like that, I feel like, and you didn't burn your bridges, of course, with the council, kind of like Catron did. I also didn't see them getting blessed. That guy's new to the community. It's just an experience. They wouldn't let it happen, I don't think. But I think you should be openly doing stuff for the community, or helping out, or making moves, or growing. Try to revive it, I guess you could say. Like, if your family's seen as legitimate, I feel like that's when your family should start being like open to a blessing, like after that 6 months.
Definitely. And Catron fucked theyself. I don't know the full situation, but from what I do know, they fucked theyself. But
I mean, even if
saying,
so, but like, let's say they didn't, for example. Should they still be blessed?
Got a good family, right? That's what I'm saying. And nobody wants to bless them because I don't like you.
I mean, if they could get blessed, I'm saying, like, what have they done? You know what I'm saying? Like, other than going to some lobbies and shoot some people.
What if Patron had 7 turfs? You know what I'm saying? Did all this shit, was hosting Don's meeting, formed a great commission, all that, and people still said, I don't like you. I'm not gonna bless you.
I think that's why I'd probably step up. I mean, you're not. I mean, if your family's making an impact right there, I'd probably start talking to some people and try to help.
That's my problem with it, bro. Like, when I talk to Scally, when I talk to Venerio, when I talk to Brad, never once did any of them tell me, oh, you gotta join my commission to do that. No, it was Vic. I've known you for a long time. I seen what you did. I respect what you did. I'm gonna work on it. I can do it for you. You know what I'm saying? Because it should be based off of what you've done and what your family has done, where your family is at. It shouldn't be about joining my commission to benefit me. You know what I'm saying? When Brad asked me, and I not told too many people this, but when Brad asked me, I tested him. Because he said, yo, I want you to join my commission.
I remember that.
I'm going to bless you. Yeah. And I said, yeah, you can bless me.
That's
but I'm not
facts.
going to join your commission. I said no. And he said, all right, cool. But I'm still going to bless you because I respect what you've done. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I joined his commission, because he wasn't on that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's a lot of Brad. Okay, so it depends if Brad likes you or not. We can both agree on that, Vic. So he obviously likes Scaletto, he obviously likes Zingano. But with kids that are like, you know, new and just trying to, you know,
I don't think, but that's the thing, bro. You got to rephrase that. He didn't like us. He liked what we did. You know
that's the thing. I like our families,
that we were putting in. There you go.
Yeah. Actually, I was in that party whenever Brad said that, and honestly, I'm gonna say this right now here on the episode. If Brad didn't give me that blessing at 4:30 a.m. on a fucking Tuesday, whenever we both had to work in the morning, Scaletto would not be where it is today. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So shout out to Father Retorno, Violento. Even though yes, there were a lot of allegations and a lot of downsides, I would like to say thank you to the people in there, Vic and Brad and Jamie and all of them.
Respect.
Now to say on Brad's topic, with Brad, he's a man that looks at your effort. He looks at what you've done, and that's where Rocco is too. Vito, I'm not gonna talk on Vito. But one thing this community needs to fucking change, and this is an idea that I've had. Thing that this community needs to change, which was already a submitted idea of mine, which I got shot down for, is you need to start giving trials, not admin trials, but fucking Don's tags trials, fucking Discord management trials, fucking hosting free mode wars. You need to give them that opportunity to get their family name out there. Vic Singano was made fun of before he got into TO. Made fun of, shot down, stepped on, smacked in his bald ass head. No one cared.
That's because I be
Scaletto was too. Scaletto was too. And you know what? It's not the fact that they didn't do shit. It was the fact that there was a lack of opportunity for them to prove themselves. That is what this community needs to change. Give the unblessed more chance, and then you will see your activity change. And then you will see your fucking numbers grow. And if the community doesn't want to listen to that, then we're doomed from the fucking start.
So think about the non-ballistics. Like, I agree with a lot you said. A lot of things that you said is there's not much we can do. I mean, like, our commission pretty much can't fully operate politically, just because we can't necessarily vote, or like, let's say if we want to talk to someone and sway a vote, for example, we can't do that. All we can do is just sway and just hope for the best of the topic. It starts to affect us a lot, mostly because we can't progress, and I feel like a family, like the 6-month thing makes sense because of stability. But I feel like if it was dropped and it was like some circumstances of like how much you affect the community, I think that's where it should lie. But I'm not against the 6-month either.
Yeah, man, people gotta understand the only reason that voting got separated was a blessing. And the only reason that you need that is because people started creating a bunch of little fake families to get votes and make things they wanted passed. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason people have to have that blessing to vote. You know what I'm saying? Blessings itself isn't even how it was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? It's not even about what you've done, respect, and how it's supposed to be anymore. It's all about, are you a legitimate family enough to deserve a vote? Because once we give you this vote, you know what I'm saying, it's going to matter. It's going to be able to affect the community as a whole. If you're just a family that's here for 2 months, 3 months, or you're just a family here to vote because so-and-so said vote, we don't need that.
I agree.
So I know there's a lot of things that happen with like the Don hierarchy server, for example, and so that's not an admin, for example. Like, what is your views on like the rep limit changing and all this other stuff?
Say that one more time. One more time.
Like not being an admin and being in that Discord, like it's seeing all these things change within the dev team and stuff that happens. Like our rep limit just recently changed.
It's not even like even admin. It's just developers who get to like.
Let me say this.
Do all these things. I mean, the rep limit changing, bro. Shit, just kept it as 5. I don't know what it is now. I really don't even pay attention anymore. But
I think.
I don't know. I like the 5 idea.
You know what I think? This is I'm gonna say this and keep it short and sweet. Fuck the roles. Fuck the rep limit. If they're in your hierarchy, show proof and they can come in. See, Scaletto at one point had 8 members of hierarchy. 3 are under bosses, a consig, some other motherfuckers that were just floating around. But I could only bring in 5. Now, shit changes. Life happens. Okay? Just keep it fucking short and sweet. Life happens. Those people that you brought in, they're gonna not always be able to check their phone. They're not always gonna be able to check their phone. Then what happens? Can you guys hear me alright?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting stressed or some shit. My game's lagging a little bit. Alright. So, if you guys can't hear me, like if I start cutting out, tell me to shut the fuck up. Now, life hits. People cannot always check their phone. Now, you would have a better chance seeing a message or your family responding to a message if you had everybody in your hierarchy in there. But only 5, that kind of puts you at like a limbo stage. I think fuck the fucking roles. Fuck them. You can have a job, but you should not have power over that Discord. Like,
I feel like
you could have an admin.
When we're in the dev chat a lot, in the dev chat a lot is if something doesn't pass or someone doesn't like something, a Don's topic goes up. I don't know if anyone else has realized that, but it's always that way. If someone doesn't like something, how a vote went, a vote goes up, and they try to get the community behind them. I feel like the people are devs there for a reason. Their job is to help the most they can. I personally don't care what the rep limit is, honestly, just because it doesn't necessarily affect me. You do what you want. It's only impacting your family. However, when it comes to that armored car rule that recently passed, it should be strictly hierarchy. If you have a rep rule in Don's hierarchy, you shouldn't have it. You shouldn't be able to drive an armored car. That's mostly why a lot of people were against it.
Alright, I just died and came back. Hit the vape too hard. I ain't hear shit y'all said. Repeat the topic question.
You just say you hit the vape too hard?
Pretty much in the dev chat, anytime a vote doesn't pass, the people will try to get the community behind them and throw up a Don's topic. As you can see, Don VI threw up 2 because the votes didn't sway his way.
Alright, I'm gonna say this. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of people probably don't remember this. But I do believe when the first ever meeting about Discord came up and about having a Don server came up, it was either 3 or 5, and that was based on how many hierarchy you'd have: father, Don, under Don, boss, and doc. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's enough. I really do think it's enough. Now, people that's running a council, 3 Dons and all these extra shit, 4 docs and all this extra shit, it's cool. Definitely, I think. I don't see a problem with having more people in the chat, because like, what's the point of limiting people on having it in the chat? But if there is a limit, 5 is enough. I do feel that. Why there is a limit blows me. I don't know.
Yeah.
And about the, what'd you say, the GTs being in the chat and GTs and shit like that with the backplates and armored cars, I agree with that rule. I think that rule is very fair, because there's a lot of people who don't have GT changes, like Brad and some other people who don't have GT changes, but because of their status, they're allowed to drive in these armored cars without a GT change. You know what I'm saying? So to make it fair for all families, you know what I'm saying, why should that be different? Why should that be different for a small family's godfather who's been around for 2-3 years? You know what I'm saying? Because he doesn't have his GT, he can't, and he's not, notorious and known like that, he can't drive around in an armored car. So I think either having the GT or being in that server is a great way to regulate it.
Yeah, I just feel like if you have the rep role, because you're not a hierarchy, you shouldn't be able to drive that.
Now, I agree with that shit. If you're not hierarchy, bro, you shouldn't have a rep role. You shouldn't be up there anyway. The only excuse you should have to be up there and be a rep and probably get that shit is if you've been around for like 5+ years. You know what I'm saying? And you're like some retired doc who's just back in the family type shit. But nah, bro. Somebody's upcoming, these foot soldiers they got, legit foot soldiers and capos they've got.
They're worried it's going to turn into a community server. That's the key. Literally, that's the same words that come up every time. It's not a community server. It's not this. It's not that. Who cares? If people want to invite their hierarchy, invite your hierarchy. If they want to look at a cloud, that's on you. It's your family. He's representing you.
Straight up, just like that. Because, man, I think it's the best server to be in, for real. It's the only server I look at.
It's really the only server that's an actual server. The community servers are literally just communication servers. It's been said time and time again in the Don's meetings that they're irrelevant. They mean nothing.
Okay, all
right.
right.
Other topics, Jacob?
No, I'm good on my part. I was just letting you guys finish up. Do you guys have any closing statements that you want to bring in here? Anything
Not really.
Okay. All right, so
I got a closing statement. Everybody who be coming at my head reckless, suck my dick. I be busting my ass out here, working hard. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this shit for a long time. This shit is simple. I'm trying to get this shit back to being simple. I'm trying to set the example for how TOs should do certain things, because, we get accused of being biased and doing all this other shit, but really it's just one guy being forced to work on his own, or 2 people to be forced to work on their own. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason there should be 2 TOs handling a turf war, voting on a turf war, and we got 7 TOs, 8 TOs and shit. There's no reason.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I want to thank everybody for coming out. Don Vic Singano, Doc Singano, Don Scaletto, Mr. Don Sparrow. I want to thank you guys for giving me the time. to come on the show and talk on these topics.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, thank you, man.
Anytime. All right, gents, and that is it.
Likewise, Kuru.
I just got that on fucking recording.
I hate you.